Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, my name's Sarah and I make my own clothing and sewing patterns so that you can make the same clothing for your own wardrobe. Today I'm going to be taking you through some of my favourite pieces that I have ever made, and if I've got patterns for them they will be listed in the description. So let's get into it. With the dress that I'm making, this here is a sample of what will be called the Sundae dress if I release it. So it's got really cute little cap sleeves, princess seams, and then at the back it's got a sort of corset tie up. It also includes pockets, which is cute. It's still in the sampling phase. I made another sample, a short version, and I really love it, but I will say it's got a little way to go until I'm ready to release it. The cap sleeves, for example, it's a bit tight, so I can't really lift my arms very high, so I might try cutting the existing pattern on the bias to give like a little bit of room, or I might need to adjust it all together. But even though it's not live yet, I'm still completely obsessed with it, and I'm excited to release this as a pattern at some stage once I've done the work to get it to be the right fit. One of my other favorites is this Kitara dress here. So this is one of my new patterns that's going to be coming out very soon. It's actually getting released as a set. To make it as a dress is just a quick hack, very easy to achieve, but it can be worn 6 different ways, including reversible if you have a small enough bust, which is nice. I actually quite often wear it around this way when I'm wearing it to school, but yeah, it can be worn in so many different ways due to these really long ties. I absolutely love this one, particularly the fabric. It's just really retro, and yeah, it's one of my most worn makes to date. Next up is this Lilo dress. This is a hack from my original Lilo pattern. It's just taken off the sleeves and cut the bodice across like this and shortened the ties in the middle so that they're a little bit cuter and shorter, and then added straps, of course. It's a super easy hack to do. I originally came up with this idea when I'd seen a Beck & Bridge dress. I'll pop a picture over here if I can find it online, and I really loved it, and I thought I could probably hack my Lilo to make something similar, and the outcome was this, and I'm so happy with it. I wear it honestly in summer at least once a week. It's one of my absolute go-tos, and I think one of the cool things about this one is that it's very beginner friendly, but the outcome is super cool. Do you know what I mean? It's not just one of those kind of rectangle dresses or anything like that. It's actually looks like it's more complex than it actually is. So I would say if you're a beginner, this would be a cool dress to have a go at. Next up is my Stevie dress. This is hands down one of my most worn makes that I've ever made, and the reason is because I wear it in summer and winter. It's got these gorgeous back panels which are elasticated there, so 2 elastic panels, and then these ties on the straps which can be worn at the top of the shoulder, or I like to wear them personally sort of draping down the back of the skirt. It's got a tiered skirt which is absolutely gorgeous as well. In summer I wear it with nothing underneath, and then in winter I wear it with one of my merinos, and it just looks so gorgeous in all seasons. So I think that's why it's worn so much. I'll pop some pictures of what it looks like over here. It is not yet one of my patterns, but if you'd be interested in making your own, I would love to know, and maybe I can get cracking on to making it. Yeah, let me know. There's a little up close. What gorgeous fabric as well, honestly. I think they're called echinaceas, these flowers. Stunning. Next up is my Pebbles dress. It currently has a broken zip. I sent it off to a photo shoot, and unfortunately it was a little bit too small for the girl, and so the zip broke. And if you know me, I hate mending clothes, so it's just been sitting there unworn for a little while, so I really need to get onto it before New Zealand summer. But this is one of my patterns, and some of the things that I really love about it is it's got a bit of a zigzag sort of hem there which sits sort of low on the waist, and it's also got this really interesting kind of design at the top where the top of the bodice, I don't know if you can see that with how light it is, the top of the bodice is sort of split across into different panels as well, which makes it super intricate. I'll chuck a couple of photos of what it looks like on over here, but honestly this has already cost per wear, I reckon. This is getting down to like 20 cents because I wore it so much, particularly in Vietnam when we went for our trip. I really love the colour, and yeah, it's just one of my absolute go-tos. One of my next favourites is this Bobbie dress here. This one's been hacked to have shorter sort of t-shirt sleeves, but it's very hard to tell what it looks like when it's just on the hanger like this because it looks like a massive sack. But the ties come in and it creates this sort of like voluminous, floaty kind of flute-like skirt, which is super beautiful. I'll pop some pictures of what it looks like up here just so that you can get an idea of how it sort of sits. Quite a dangerous dress on windy days, I'm not going to lie. It's so floaty that any gust of wind will sweep it up, but it is so beautiful. The best dress for twirling in. It's made from 4 meters of fabric, and it's actually a super easy make. Essentially it's just kind of like a half circle dress, I guess you could say. One of the reasons I also love this is because it's one of my original prints when I first started designing fabrics, and it says she's a keeper, which is just so cute in my opinion. But yeah, you can make your own Bobbie dress. I will leave the link in the description below if you're interested in making that. It is one of my earlier patterns, so it hasn't had an update with those beautiful new illustrations or anything like that, but still comes together just as easy, and yeah, the result is this beauty. This one here has to be probably my all-time favorite dress that I've ever made, probably mostly because of the fabric, if I'm completely honest. It was a remnant at a shop and I kept it for ages. I had no idea what to do with it, and you know, it's just so nerve-wracking cutting into fabric that you love so much. And then when lockdown hit, I brought it down to Waihi Beach with me. We stayed at my parents' house while we were in lockdown, and I decided to go for it. To be honest, how nerve-wracking. At the time, during lockdown, I actually wasn't that good at making my own patterns. It was just sort of the beginning of my journey when it came to doing that kind of thing. Previously, I'd just been making patterns pretty much out of rectangles, if I'm completely honest, so it was quite bold of me to then cut into this and do something other than rectangles. But this is just one of my absolute favorites. I'll give you a close-up of the fabric. It is divine, and it's got like a real nice sort of texture to it as well. This is what it looks like on, so I made this cute little headband as well, which is such a sweet little addition. And I'm not really, oh, I just bumped myself with the coat hanger. I'm not really a fan of short dresses. I kind of wish that it was long if I was to change something about it, but yeah, it is so adorable. Every time this would get rented out, I would always worry that it would never come back. And so eventually I just took it off my website so that no one could rent it because I was so worried about it getting lost. One day maybe I might make this into a pattern, but it would need some significant changes because, as I said when I made this, I was just starting my pattern making journey, so it's certainly not the best technique in terms of the fit around the bust and everything, but yeah. Next up is this set. It's got a Monty top, super floaty, no elastic on the bottom of the sleeves, so it's just drapey as, and the Frill Seeker shorts, super perfect for things like festivals. I just love it so much, just great twirl factor. These are both super beginner friendly, honestly. Essentially they're just made out of rectangles, to be completely honest with you, but just create such beautiful pieces. The Monty top is traditionally made with elastic at the bottom, but for this particular piece I decided to keep it loose so that it would sort of create that floaty kind of effect with the shorts as well. So these two you can get as patterns. The Frill Seekers are part of one of my beginner sewing sets, and the Monty you can buy as an individual set. This is what the piece looks like on here. My friend Siobhan took these photos and I'm completely obsessed with them. They're some of my favourite photos I think I've ever had taken of myself. And I forgot to mention this print is also designed by me, which is also why I love it so much. Yeah, the colours are just quite a unique combination of colours as well, which I think is kind of special, not kind of ones that you see together very often. Next up is the Maggie dress. This is one of my other lockdown makes. I made this pattern on some newspaper that my mum and dad had left over in a box during lockdown because we didn't have any other resources, and I was just so happy with the way it turned out. Like I said, during lockdown, that was when I was starting to veer off from making patterns using just rectangles and starting to experiment with some different sort of shapes. So I was super proud of this when I made it, honestly. When it came together, I couldn't believe it, and I started getting really addicted to even more sewing at that point once I sort of unlocked that new level of kind of pattern making. And I felt so restricted because we were in lockdown and I didn't have access to much fabric, so I felt quite restricted, to be honest. But I love the Maggie because it's got this gorgeous bow at the back, which is quite cute, an adjustable elastic back as well, so it kind of fluctuates with you if you want it. Cute little puff sleeves, and then a tiered skirt. This one's got lots of floatiness to it. 4 meters of fabric. I absolutely love her. Similar to the Nora, I love this so much, and every time it would get rented out I started worrying that it might never come back and that I'd never get it back again, and then eventually it did actually get a hole in it from one of the rentals, and I decided, okay, that's it. So I took it off my website so that I could keep it for myself to wear. So this is what it looks like on. I really love this fabric, and it was only like $6 a meter or something. I wish I bought the whole bulk, to be completely honest. Big regrets, because it is so beautiful. Next up is this gorgeous honey dress. I made this particular one inspired by a Damson Inspired dress that has bows on the sides. So this one here features a kind of drop waist, and it has bows at the back. I hacked this as well, so it normally just has the one bow with and then an open back, but I added a second one there, and it's got sort of an elasticated back as well, which means that it's reasonably adjustable. It's got quite intricate paneling across the bodice, which I really love, and I also hacked this one to have some sort of wider set sleeves similar to the Damson Inspired one, and a cute little scrunchie to match. This dress here, I made this when I got my colours done and I found out that I was a cool summer, I think it is, and so I went on this big mission to create a whole lot of dresses that were in colours that actually suit me, because previous to that I'd actually been wearing lots of really bright oranges and bright sort of vivid pinks, and it turns out those are colours that I'm not supposed to wear. So this was sort of the beginning of the journey of making clothes in colours that actually suit me and bring out my features. So yeah, and it's super cute fabric. It's from Spoonflower. If I can find it again, I will link it in the description along with the pattern. Next up is this two-piece. So the skirt is actually not my pattern. It's a pattern called, I think it's the Henrietta skirt by Spaghetti Western. It's so cool and super easy, which is also epic, and veers away from just those traditional rectangle kind of skirts. So it's got these side sort of gathered panels that curve up, and then it's just got a straight panel through the middle, and it's so flattering and equally as easy as the rectangle skirts as well. The top here, I just used my Tinker Dress pattern, which is currently on hiatus because it's getting a little upgrade, and then I made these sort of wide sleeves, which are just rectangles, which I gathered in the bottom to sort of cinch it in a little bit. This here was a set that I made inspired by another Damson Inspired dress that I own, and I wear it so much that I thought I have to have another version of this. So this is what the Damson dress looks like, and if I can find a picture of what this looks like on, I think I've got one on my camera roll, I'll add it here as well. But yeah, so beautiful, and made up in a fabric that was designed inspired by Waihi Beach, which is my hometown, which is a coastal hometown. So there's a little close-up of it. It's got lots of little fish, surfers, palm trees, shells, and so on and so forth. Next up is this Remnant dress. You can make this pattern yourself using one of my sewing patterns. I'll link it down below. A couple of reasons why I love this. One, it's in my colours, so it really suits me. But number two is that it is made up of a whole lot of offcuts. So all of these fabrics here are actually previous fabrics from some of my made to orders that I used to do when I had a made to order brand rather than a sewing brand, and so it meant that there was no wastage. They all came together so nicely as well, which I think is another cool thing about this pattern, is like no matter what fabrics come together, somehow it all looks quite cohesive in the end. Obviously these are all blues, so you probably couldn't go too far wrong, but I have seen quite a few customers make it, and all of the prints seem to be quite random, but they seem to look really, really good once it's all made up. I think another thing that I really like about this is it's quite hackable as well. So you could make it into a t-shirt quite easily. You could make a short version, which you might have seen my short remnant at some stage. The actual pattern comes with a long sleeve. I've just sort of chopped it off. Yeah, I really adore it. It's probably not a beginner friendly pattern. It's probably more sort of around that intermediate sort of level, because it has a couple of things that are slightly more advanced. So it's got buttonholes, a lot of buttonholes. It's got a collar, and the long sleeve version has, what are they called, plackets, I think. So yeah, it's definitely not a beginner friendly one, but something that you could work towards for sure. And lucky last is this gorgeous teddy dress. So I have now made 12 teddy dresses. That's how much I like this pattern, but this one in particular is my absolute favorite. I love the fabric. It's this gorgeous plaid fabric from Blackbird Fabrics over in Canada. It was a little pricey because of the conversion rate and then the shipping, but so worth it. I wear this version of my teddy so much. I wear it with nothing underneath. I wear it with a t-shirt underneath, merino long sleeve, knitted cardi on top, jacket. I thrash her, and I love her so much so that I'm wondering whether I should maybe buy some more of this fabric just in case this ever gets worn out, because I love it so much. One of my favorite features of the teddy are the ties at the side. I'll show you what it looks like on here so you can get a bit of an idea. But those ties on the side, they're not made to make the dress completely adjustable, but when you pop it on, you just sort of pull them in and it cinches it in all of the right places. So this particular pattern is super flattering on all body types. I have not seen anyone look bad in it yet, so that's pretty exciting for me as a pattern designer, to be completely honest with you. Did I say that I'd made 12 of these? I can't remember if I said that at the start or not, but that's how much I like this pattern. If you've made it this far in the video, thank you so much for persevering through that. I really enjoyed sharing my favorite makes with you guys, and if you'd like to make some for yourself, I've linked all of the sewing patterns for the ones that I do have patterns for down below in the description. I hope you enjoy sewing them yourselves, and if you do make any, I would love for you to tag me on any of my socials at mykeepernz. I've just recently started posting regularly on YouTube again, and I would love to have your support, so if you enjoyed this video or any of my other ones, please make sure you like and subscribe. I would really appreciate the support. Alright, see you next time.